All right. So, uh, we'll talk about that shortly. Right now, I think I'm going to do a little live planning. So, just to keep the grind, this is the morning stuff. What's interesting is I'm doing this. I'm doing this after I met with a bunch of people. So, ideally, when I'm using Myca, ideally I want to do this first thing in the morning, nice and clear. You have my coffee and go through and just like um, sanitize my Myca as my dashboard for the day. Yesterday was interesting. I think I got through. The cool thing is you get a frozen snapshot of the prior day in Myca, so I can always go back to yesterday and see exactly the state of everything. I mean, it freezes the whole plan that you have, and it freezes like your completed tasks and everything, so you can literally see day by day. I can go back one more day and I can see like exactly what happened on that day and how that day was left. So this day on Wednesday, I didn't use Myca, right? So I was just on meetings all day, did a meeting marathon. My Myca was super messy. If you remember, yesterday, I did a session to really kind of sanitize and organize and reason about how I should really organize my Myca a little bit. This plan is wild. Of course, you have a drill view for the whole day if you wanted. So your whole plan can be in a drill view. So you can really analyze your day. I mean, this is how I use it, right? There's a lot of different flows you can develop for yourself. But so it's interesting. I can look back at my day and see, okay, this was a relatively productive day, and just checking this is kind of like a little bit of a dopamine hit. It's like, look, I checked off a bunch of shit. I abandoned stuff. Abandoning stuff is just as good as checking stuff off, in my opinion, right? You just want to get things off of your thing. You want to process the shit you got going on, and so that's super useful. But so I'll just do a quick eyeball check of that. And then keeps me motivated to now let's tackle this day. So this is this day today. I can edit this, it's not frozen. All right. Overloading in Python, I need to check that. So that just came from the last meeting I had. Check what overloading means from the perspective of MyPy in Python. So I met with Gamal. That's good. That was a sufficient meeting. I got to do my ritual. This is a ritual read out loud. I know health is the foundation of all things. I think about it. I will think about that and what I will do in accordance. Alcohol drains intellect and energy. So that's my mantra, right? Because it's you gotta respect your health, right? So you can work yourself into the gutter. And in general, I'll drink alcohol when I don't have to do anything the next day, right? Where I could take the next day off because my energy would be drained and my intellect won't be firing on all cylinders. So if I'm on vacation, if I really don't have anything going on the next day, I'm taking a break, maybe I'll drink something. But if I'm going to work the next day, I'm not drinking the day before. So that's kind of my algorithm there. And then I have to remind myself of this shit because I'll forget. I know health is the foundation of all things. I will think about that and what I will do in accordance. I need to be thoughtful about making healthy choices every day. Like I'm standing, that's a healthy choice. It's healthier than sitting for 12 hours straight. Going from sitting, standing, sitting, that's a healthy choice. Like choosing not to like just go to McDonald's and stuff my face with double Big Macs. They released these double Big Macs. I tried it twice. And it's just bad. It's bad. Like, I don't know. It's like it feeds some kind of like, like dopamine centers in the brain or something. It gives you like the opiates of the brain yeah. So anyway, a little bit of a tangent, but choosing not to do that is going to be. I need to think about that and what I'll do in accordance, right? So it's just a mantra. So it's a ritual. You can set up your rituals in Myca super easy. Basically, when you wait, that's the thingy. Hold on, let me just get back to it. I haven't set up my rituals since I started using them, but you can. It's this repeat. You can make it a ritual by checking that. You can just select, custom, like how often you want that ritual to be a ritual, and then your rituals will be tracked, right? So, read out loud, as I said. Streaming keeps me accountable, which is it's essentially a productivity hack at this point in how I'm using it, and it's a documentation platform for the rest of the team that's building this open source software, so they can see how I code and then mimic what makes sense to them. But I can actually check my rituals, right? So, I haven't read out loud for a while, but I'm reading out loud. I'm still like weak on the emails, churn throughs. I did do one on Wednesday. I didn't mark it off though. But anyway, so that's my focus situation. So anyway, let me just process this. What's accurate here? Okay, I did chat about that with Lingja. I didn't do email churn through, not yesterday. Update README with diagram on why Jack. Didn't do that. Comparative analysis of other great READMEs. Nope, that's part of that task. Oh, getting this done is actually very ambitious. I think getting some version merged is a little bit more accurate on that. So let's get that. That should stay on my to-dos. Fix abstract abilities. Yeah, I did that actually. I did that yesterday. But hey, kudos on knocking out that chat with Ling Java Fuse 2 plan. You're on fire. Now let's dive into Python and keep the momentum going, shall we? So this is that AI feature that's in Myca. That's awesome. It just gives you a little, like, I don't necessarily listen to what it recommends I do next, at least not me. But it's just a little dopamine hit when you're working through the day, and then at least there's somebody that says, hey, dude, I just noticed you did that thing. Good job. It's like a new message. I'm getting some encouragement. So it's really, really powerful for that. So let's see what's going on. So let's go ahead. I'm going to close all here. So, okay, let's see what sections. Basically, I know that these are fine. I still have this thing due on the 7th. So I should be thoughtful about that. Figure out website plan. I have no idea. I'll work on that later. Notes and whatnot. Myca. Get more intimately involved in the Myca Buddy repo. That's a little vague. I need to be more specific than that. I have no idea what I can plan there. I don't have any ideas. So I'm just going to move forward. This is the craziness. I'm gonna drill into this and focus on just the Jack Lang Jaceki mission. Professor, I need to do that today, so I'm gonna focus this. Or I'll abandon it if I choose not to do it. But I need to dispense with that today. Email burn through. I did. Think. No, I don't need to think right now. Backlog. Okay, I don't know. That's not gonna happen. Think. If I feel super stressed out and overwhelmed, or I'm like in my own head, I'll actually, this is another kind of weird algorithm habit. I'll actually be like, dude, I'm not in a good mental space right now. Like, I can tell I'm not in a good mental space. I'll go to think and I'll be like, do I need a nap? And then, no. Do I need electrolytes? No. Do I need tea? No. Do I need food? Do I need to go outside? Do I need to get organized? Can I get into a flow right now? Am I ruminating? So I'll like answer these questions and that'll just like help solve my problem, And so it's like I have like this is some weird deep stuff, right? Like secret. So like I have this tool that I'll use to try to get my head into the right place. And it's this list and I'll just, okay. Like, let me just think and be thoughtful and like do something to get me back on track, back in rails. It's kind of like a mini mental hack, because we all get into bad mental spaces, and we all like have these moments where we're like, oh man, I'm really agitated. I don't even know why. Like I'm grumpy. I'm tired. I feel overwhelmed. I'm panic attacking. I'm like I'm getting depressed. I'm getting into a bad mental headspace, and so. This is like a trick I just came up with that works for me, right? I don't know if it works for others. It could just be a me thing, but I made this list, right? Of the things that typically need to do to get myself into a better space. On here, it should be, do I need to exercise? But I'm keeping it realistic, right? Like, for some reason, I'm not in a mode of like exercising regularly. I know that can fix a lot of things, and it's just generally good for you. But if I put it on this list, then this list is less powerful for me. Now, later, at some point, I have to get a routine of exercising, you know? And when that's a realistic aspect of my life, I'll put it here. But this is all the stuff that I'll do to keep my well-being up, right? Like, sometimes I need electrolytes. Sometimes I need tea. So, you know, sometimes I just need to eat, dude. You know, I don't have coffee on here because coffee just happens. Like, you know, I don't need to think about that. And I need to not drink too much. Or I'll just be whacked out and make things worse on that coffee crash. Sometimes I need to go outside, dude, because I'm like in this basement, like working all day long. Sometimes I need to get organized. I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes I can get into a flow and just say, screw it, I'm not going to think about anything. I'm just going to work right now. And then sometimes I'm just straight ruminating, right? It's just like, stop ruminating. The secret to not ruminating is to stop ruminating. Just like you can choose to pay attention to that cup of coffee. I can make that choice. I'm going to look at the coffee right now. You have that control. Some things you can't control. Some things you can. Like depression, you can't control. If you're depressed, you can't say, I will be not depressed. But rumination, you can control. If you're analyzing some event over and over again, you can just say, I'm going to focus my attention on something else. I will stop thinking about that. You actually can do that. And a lot of people don't really know they can do that. They get into this feedback loop like trap of, I'm just going to keep thinking about it until a solution comes into my mind. And then they're just like trying to hack with this belief. I'll think through it until I feel better. That's a trap. And you can choose to stop. And I've actually done that, and it works. Like, we don't have to ruminate. And rumination and depression are two different things, right? Like, you can't do it with depression, but you could do it with rumination. Anyway, try it. It's like, this is like one of those Yoda mind tricks, you know, like, what is it called? Like, you know, the force is strong with you, Luke Skywalker. You can use that force. It's like the force, mysterious capability to control your mental well-being. Anyway, so like that's what that is. And I use that all the time. Less and less though. There was a time that I used it all the time because I was just I was just frequently getting into like a bad mental space, and so now I use it less because I'm actually, you know, like I'm just busy. I'm too busy to get into weird mental spaces these days. But anyway, so that looks good. Now the tricky part is this guy. Let me just expand all of that. And let's just think. No, let's collapse it. I'm going to think at high level. These are the things I've decided to focus in this world. I've drilled into this world now. So I decided to focus check overloading Python. I don't know why that's focused. I mean, it's important, but I don't know. On the priority queue, it may not be the most important. Do comparative analysis, update README. This is actually pretty important. I do want to get this done. It's been days. Do comparative analysis of other READMEs. That's related. Get Python load ISD to merge. I think that's actually even more important, actually. Although I do have this kind of faux sense of urgency on the overloading stuff because I'm curious and I just had a call about it. And that I'm going to talk to that dude again later. So I might want to check the overloading. So, and it's quick, whatever. But that's a trap. It's actually low priority in the big picture. So how are these prioritized? IR architecture, documentation education, Jack Lang Giuseppe architecture, core language design features, build ecosystem. Actually, let me zoom into my impact mission because the team is really, this is an important thing that I'm not reasoning about. Like, who do I need to meet? Who needs me? I'm sure there's some folks that need me. Um, thanks, dude. Thanks. If it's helpful, man, just that's great, dude. Like, yeah, yeah, man. So I'm trying to think. What's the All right, so Janica, I got at 11 o'clock with these folks, so I can meet him there. Um, Everybody's kind of doing good. One thing I need to do is I need to reason about ClickUp, man. Because there's other tools, right? This is just a super hyper personal tools for my hyper ambitious kind of like me for like how do I drive myself. But there's another tool that's used for the stuff where like the deets on the whole team's like activities. This is something called ClickUp. Um, Let me see. Where is the view all spaces? Where's the everything? Wait, spaces, everything. Where's the this is Myca. I don't know how to use this tool super well. Is there another? This doesn't seem to have this stuff. Maybe we did just knock out a whole bunch of stuff. But I thought there was like a Jack Lang thing. Maybe I'm not invited to all the spaces. Right, visible spaces, team space. I'm gonna have to hit Janica and make sure I can see everything. What's this? All right. So this is another tool. It's a really good tool for the team to use, but you know, like others will run this board and keep everybody on rails. And I just need to know, the thing that I'm missing here is like, who should I meet today? I already met with Pavi. I've got some stuff there. Let me make sure it's on my, I'll make sure it's on my Jack Lang thing. Like the stuff I need to do with Pavi. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. I already met with, yeah, let me just make this a bigger task. Check overloading in Python and study Gamal's PR, because that's like one meteor. So those two things are on. Do comparative analysis. All right, cool. Okay, so that's my plan. Let me go into focus mode. So basically, at this point, I would spend the rest of my day in focus mode because I have all the tasks here so far, and then tasks are going to come in as I roll. And whenever tasks come in the day, I don't go back to plan. You see, the secret with planning is you want to do it regularly, but just enough to do it as least as possible. Which means as soon as you're done with, like, say, a plan session that I just did, you want to go into focus for the rest of the day, and everything will be dynamic. Like, stuff is going to be happening in the day, new stuff coming in, whatever. You do stuff a little off rails. Whenever things pop into your head or new things come into what you want to do, you just add it to the What I do is I just add it to the focus, right? And so, like, let's say, oh, dude needs to meet on, like, documentation advice, right? I'll just add it here, right? And one of Myca's cool features is the AI will actually, look at that, that's cool. Like the AI will actually automatically recommend a category from my plan to assign it to, and then I could just click yes. So I never have to go to plan, or if it's wrong, I can click, you can click the item and then you can just set it to the right category here in the focus list, right? So you should never be going back to the plan list, because when you go back to plan, you can get distracted by planning. You could plan all day and do like 1 hour of real work, but you want to have the other way around. You want to be in here, don't go to plan, just get shit done. You already planned in the beginning of the day, just knock out that plan, and then with the dynamism of life, you handle that dynamism in the focus page. So you stay focused all day. And that's the core principle of focus, So this is that 10% of the tool, right? Like, as I said yesterday, I only use 10% of this product because it has all this super cool stuff, like this insights dashboard. My wife uses this like a ninja. This is part of her process. There's something called a wall where, see, I use it so frequently, like the new onboarding for the wall isn't even, so like this wall just keeps like loading and it'll show you like your journal every day. It'll show you how much tasks you completed every day. It'll show you different stuff. And you can just scroll and look at your life for the last like 30 days and it'll scroll load like it's doing here. So this is this could be a part of somebody else's workflow, right? So it's got like all these kinds of different features. Your ritual tracker where you could track your rituals and the percentages and all that stuff. Like it has all that cool stuff, but real talk, like that's for the that's for the ninjas, right? And all this stuff is in the mobile app too. So like that's for like the ninjas that are just like analytics, like they're just crazy IDE of life type folks, right? But for me, I just got my flow, and that's my flow. So now I'm gonna stay in focus, and then I'm just gonna work through focus. The way that I use journal is I use journal for like notes of the day. So I'll just dump random notes and bullets in here. And just to make sure it's not lost and at least it's somewhere. But I'll just stay in focus for the rest of the day and just knock stuff out and then let random shit happen. And then I'm going to make sure it's in focus so I get the dopamine of seeing this thing on the right? Like the screen on the right. So that's my flow. Anyway, so I've did my plan session. I've talked about how I do it. This is free forever, right? Like all the stuff that I use is free and it'll be free like that forever. And then I think some of this stuff might ultimately have a paywall, like some of the like super ridiculous features, but that core of improving people's life will be free forever because that's actually the underlying mission of this Myca thing is really to take the stuff that works for me and a crew of my buddies and share it with the world and so that the world gets benefit, right? That's kind of an underlying ethos is like how we do everything. But we do have to find a way to like pay folks to like do stuff, do cool stuff. So we try to monetize. We're not like focused on it though. It's not really the core mission. It's like, all right, if we can't get money that way, we're gonna keep grinding on the mission and we'll get money some other way, right? Like, so anyway, cool. Anyway, I'm gonna switch gears now and I'm gonna get back to like grind stuff. I think next I'm gonna work on. Oh wait, this was just an example one, so I'm gonna delete this now. And then I'm either gonna I'll do this later when I'm taking a break. Check overloading. Nope. I think I'm gonna work on I'm gonna see if Pavi did his thing. And then I'm going to work on this merge next. All right, cool. I'll check with the team on Slack too to see if anybody needs to chat. All right, good stuff, guys. We'll switch gears now. Cool.